Hare Krishna. I was sitting here listening to an Amarendra Prabhu lecture, as what I do most of the time nowadays is listen to Amarendra Prabhu. And he was, pointing out some important points, like the importance of Śrīmad. For some reason, he's always talking about the importance of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is, besides the Bhagavad Gita, it could be one of the most important books. Listen, a lot of people are home. Thousands and even millions of people are home. And I know how hard it is to resist the temptation to listen to certain things. It's easy to turn on the news and hear about the coronavirus explosions and, all the things going on around the world and the politics and the QAnon and the presidential movement. And it's just so much going on right now. And so many people are in a place of uncertainty. And I understand that. Matter of fact, this is my first video I've made in, I guess, over a week. The last time I made a video, I was up in New York planning to come down to Virginia. So right now I'm about 7 days into the little self-imposed quarantine. Make sure I'm good. You can't be going around spreading that New York virus around. So, another 7 days I should be able to go meet up with this Prabhu and, talk about some land purchases and some cow protection. And hopefully with your support, we'll get it done. But while you're home, you have a lot of time on your hands. Try to expose yourself to some transcendental radiation. Because if all you're going to do is feed yourself what you see on social media, you'll be confused, upset, and even worse, you'll be suffering from anxiety. And anxiety can also bring your immune system down. Now, the idea is to stay in high spirits. Now, there is a book that I know of called Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. And the main thing that makes the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam so illuminated is that it's constantly speaking about the glories of Lord Hari. Hari, another name for God. There's so many translations for Hari, but one of the translations for Hari is light. So you want to keep yourself surrounded by light. As we know, the countries that are in the light belt, like let's say the continent of South America, the continent of Africa, and most of Australia, except for the European dominated parts. The parts that are exposed to sunlight or the light, they don't really experience a high incidence or rate of coronavirus, just something I noticed. So you want to bathe yourself in spiritual light, which is the source of material light anyway. If you're already walking in the spiritual, if you're keeping your tejas, if you're keeping your glow, it's funny because the sun itself has a heliosphere as it travels through space. Once you enter the atmosphere of a sun or a planet, you're already on a planet. You don't have to touch rocky surface or water surface to be on a planet. All you need to do is enter the atmosphere of another object. Likewise, Śrīmad Bhāgavatam carries its own transcendental atmosphere. So I would, really, I always ask y'all again and again, please read the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam or hear an authorized person lecture on the topics of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. This is just to give the people encouragement and to keep that inner light. Because, again, if the sun didn't have a strong heliosphere, we'd all be burnt by cosmic ray particles. And if you don't have a strong spiritual aura, you will be burnt by the particles of Maya. Maya is really active in people's lives right now. And one of the best ways to push back at Maya or to keep the force of illusion out of your life is by the regular chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you could forget everything you knew right now, all of the knowledge you've learned, all of the skills and the trades, if you could just keep one thing, make sure that it's the Hare Krishna mantra, because it's the source, it's the battery, it's the energy, it's the cord, it's the life raft that's going to pull you up out of the material world and out of cycles of death and rebirth. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam was spoken for someone, one of the last great major kings of the planet Earth, who had gotten bit by a snake as a result of a curse. And he had 7 days to live. And he was fortunate to know that he had 7 days to live. But now in the age of coronavirus, death could be a day away and you don't know it. You could just go in the hospital and That's it. And they don't have a lot of ventilators. You know, we all know, we all hear the same news sources. Yeah, we got 5G popping up all over the world and people getting sick with these Frankenstein diseases. Nobody knows the source. Nobody knows where they was really created or who has the patent, who stands to gain from it. All we know is that each person here in this video could be 7 days away from death or less. You never looked at it like that, but this is the times we live in. And when New York is no longer the hot spot, somewhere else will pop up and be the hot spot. Until this plague passes away from this country. You know, there are some who are under the opinion, based upon scriptural guidance, that this is it for America. I don't know. I don't have a bone to pick. I've been sitting here waiting for liberation for 400 years. And I found it in the form of spiritual liberation. But that doesn't mean that there's not room for material alleviation of our suffering. Absorb yourselves into the light. You don't really know how much time you have left. If you can chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. If you don't want to chant Hare Krishna, at least hear some of the teachings that come from Krishna and his bona fide representatives. It will make your life much, much better. And here's one thing I learned from absorbing myself in Vedic wisdom, is that experience is the only teacher who gives the test first and the lessons later. Remember, experience gives the test first and the lessons later. So remain woke, and if you are in a dark place, please continue to move towards the light. The light is where you will find the Lord of all majesty and of all love, Lord Sri Hari, also known as Lakshmi Narayana, Vishnu, Sri Krishna. Thank you for listening. Thanks for all your support. I'll give you an update about the cow protection programs when I get some more information stamped down solidly. And again, please like, comment, share, but most importantly, comment so I could know where you're at and I could know if you've been pleased by the things that I've shared. Again, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai.